What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 4 tips to be a Division I wide receiver. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and would like 200 plus wide receiver route running drills, check out that very first link in the description below. You can get access to our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule. We map out everything wide receivers need to do on the field for route running, catching, press releases. We tell you Monday you're doing this, Tuesday that, Wednesday this. Everything that you need as a wide receiver to improve your skills. So again, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, the first thing that you need to be a Division I wide receiver is varsity film. Guys, college coaches do not care what you do in 7-on-7. They do not care what you can do in practice, t-shirt and shorts. They do not care. They want to see how you perform underneath the bright lights. So fellas, varsity film is the first way that you are going to get recruited. So if you're an underclassman and let's say you're on the freshman team, junior varsity team, whatever it is, like, yeah, play 7-on-7 in the offseason, train in the offseason, obviously go to camps, go to different things just to kind of make connections and meet people. But without varsity film, you cannot get any real recruiting attention. Now, even if you have varsity film as a freshman or as a sophomore, you cannot receive a legitimate, committable scholarship offer until the summer before your junior year. So I know a lot of you see all the hype videos of like, oh, this 8th grader or this freshman has 16 Division I offers. Those are something called non-committable offers. That means if that kid wanted to commit to that university on the spot, he could not do it. Now, listen, there are a couple of different ways that people get these non-committable offers, right? You could be really good. Like if you're an 8th grader, you know, you're 6'4", you're a D lineman, you're 225 pounds, you're just killing kids out there. Like, yeah, it's probably warranted. That's something called early recruiting. And colleges are trying to get on your radar early. They want to be first. So you remember that when it's time for you to actually commit to a school. Some people have the talent warranted. Now, number 2, a lot of people have these offers due to connections and paying for the offers. Yes, you heard that correctly. A lot of people pay for scholarship offers. And where I'm located, I'm in Southern California, and there are a lot of very wealthy people out there that will pay an assistant college coach. It goes for about $2 grand. You pay $2 grand to the college coach, and they will give you a verbal offer. Now, a verbal offer, as probably some of you know, means absolutely nothing. I could go make a verbal offer on one of these houses over here and say, hey, I'll give you $2 million for your house. House is not worth $2 million, but I'm giving them a verbal offer. Do you think they could take me to court on that offer and say, hey, he made an offer on our house, he has to pay for it? Absolutely not. It is a verbal offer, so it means absolutely nothing. So fellas, if you're an underclassman and you don't have varsity film yet, focus on getting varsity film. Don't worry about stars. Don't worry about rankings. Focus on getting varsity film. And now we're going to talk about what you should put on that varsity film to stand out to a Division I coach. Now, when you get onto varsity, there are 3 things that you want to make sure that you include on your varsity highlight tape. Number 1, that is going to be explosive plays. More importantly, or more specifically, explosive touchdowns. But again, stats are not the most important thing for a wide receiver, right? So like what do I mean by explosive plays? I mean you catching a slant at the 5-yard line. This is an example, obviously, but catching the slant at 5-yard line and taking that thing 95 yards to the house, that's an explosive play, and that shows that you can get yards after the catch. Also, catching a pass and breaking a tackle, that's yards after contact. That's another example of an explosive play, and that is something that a college coach is going to want to see. Now, number 2, what they would want to see is tough catches. They do not want to see you make some routine catch where you're wide open over the middle and just nobody's around you, defender falls down, you just walk into the end zone. They want to see you make a jump ball catch, a catch in traffic while you're getting hit, a catch while you're getting hit and you stand up on your feet and get yards after the catch. Those are all examples of explosive plays. And then last but not least, something that a lot of people overlook is blocking for wide receivers. If you can make yourself an asset in the run game, college coaches love that. Because again, in every single offense, that's at least going to be 20 to 30% of the entire offense is you running the ball. So if you're that receiver that at the ball snapped on a run play, you're just kind of touching a guy, you're not giving effort on a run play, that says a lot about you as a player and as a teammate. It shows you're not a team first type of guy. You need to be a team first type of guy, and how you can show that on film is obviously with your blocking ability. Now, something that a lot of people equate to a Division I wide receiver is the size, right? So a lot of people talk about, well, oh, that guy passes the eye test, he does this, he's tall, he's got the chance to be a Division I guy. Like, what does that all mean? What is that quote-unquote eye test? Now, if you've ever seen or ever worked out with, ever trained with a Division I wide receiver, they are usually pretty freak athletes, right? So they're usually pretty big dudes, like especially those 4-star, 5-star type guys. Like they're usually, you know, 6'1" plus, got a good build to them, and they are very explosive. Now, if you're not that tall, like let's say you're not a 6'1" guy, let's say you're 5'9", 5'10", 6 foot flat on the dot, whatever it might be, you better have some speed and explosion. There has to be a trade-off, right? So like if you're a taller dude, 6'2" plus, you pass the eye test, right? You look like a receiver, especially if you're athletic. I'm hoping that you're athletic if you're playing the wide receiver position. So if you have that type of size, you're the type of guy that's going to stand out really well in a setting where a college coach may not know you directly, right? So what does that mean? That means like a college camp, right? So you go to a college camp and you're 6'4", you run pretty decent routes, you're pretty athletic. College coaches are immediately going to look at you, right? You're 5'9", and you're that type of guy, you run like kind of average routes, you have average speed, nobody's going to look at you, unfortunately. Now, does that mean that you won't play Division I college ball or college ball in general? No. You could have a great highlight tape, showcase that you are a football player. They're trying to recruit football players, guys. They're not recruiting basketball players. So they're looking for football players. So if you don't have that, you're going to have to showcase it on your film. Now, if you are short, how you can stand out in a setting where a college coach may not know you, again, a college camp, or maybe a college coach comes to your school to scout talent, because that's what happens in something called the contact period every year. But let's say a college coach comes to your school during winter workouts. If you're not the biggest dude, he's not going to look at you right away. But if you're the fastest dude, he's going to look at you. So I think speed and explosiveness is something that you have to add into your workout routines, especially in the off season, to stand out to a college coach. Guys, you have to have speed to play at the Division I level, because guess who we're lining up against every snap? Fastest players on the field, and that fastest player is a DB. So if you don't have some kind of speed, quickness, explosiveness, or if you're not the tallest, you must have that speed, quickness, and explosiveness. Now, the fourth tip to be a Division I wide receiver is that you need to stay patient with the recruiting process. Guys, you just need one coach to take a chance on you, right? A lot of people get very, very discouraged when, you know, like a coach loses interest, or a coach, you know, for example, like let's say you've been communicating with the coach via DM, and then he just suddenly stops recruiting you, stops DMing you. Maybe he came to your school one time, started talking to you, and then they just moved on, right? It just didn't work out. Move on to the next, guys. Like you have to think of the recruiting process like it's a game, like you're just trying to level up, right? Like you can't win them all. Obviously, like you're not going to get an offer from every single school in the country. Just like, and you just honestly, I say this to you because you only need one school to take a chance. Like I'll give you an example. Like there's an athlete down here in Southern California that I train, right? He's a quarterback, but it's honestly the same concept for a receiver as well. But he, great kid, baller, fast, explosive, not the tallest guy in the world, has a great arm, like just a dude, like 2-3 years of varsity highlights or varsity film, I should say, whatever. But going into his senior year, he's getting recruited from all these schools, right? So he's getting recruited from like maybe 5 or 6 different schools, and there are 3 schools that he really wants to attend, and they're all Ivy League schools, right? And all 3 of those Ivy League schools were really hard on him after his junior year. Like, dude, we love you, we want to see your film, we want to get you down here for a camp. He does the visit, he goes on the camps, and then all of a sudden it's cold. They don't give him a scholarship offer, nothing happens. So instead of him getting discouraged, he just kind of trusts his faith, trusts the process. He still's got other schools that he's talking to, but he's just focused on getting better. I'm focused on going to camps, meeting people, communicating with people via Twitter, communicating people, sending my huddle to him, you know, talking to coaches, whatever it is. And ultimately, he did get a school that took a chance on him, and that's his only offer, but it was probably the best offer and the best football school out of all of those schools. So you just got to trust the process, guys. You just need one school to take a chance on you. Everybody's recruiting journey is a little bit different. Not everybody is the 5-star, you know, best player in their area, got 50 plus. Not everybody's that guy, guys, but I'm not saying that you have to be that guy either to be successful. You look at most of those top guys in the league, in college, they got there because of their work ethic and what they did usually after high school. Just because you were a 5-star in high school or a 4-star does not guarantee that you're going to have success in college. You hear about it all the time. Those guys don't pan out the way that all the recruiting experts thought they would. There's so much more in the development process that goes along with it. So just focus on getting better every single day. Focus on just meeting people. Focus on building connections, especially with the way the transfer portal is in college today now, fellas. You never want to go to a school with the hopes of transferring, but it's obviously an option. Going to a JUCO is an option. Everybody's journey is different. You just need one coach to take a chance on you. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule, everything wide receivers need to be doing on the field, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.